Hi everyone, Paul Daniels here, and it's a midnight fix this time. Yeah, I should be doing other things, but I just can't get my head around. So I've got this HP 15-inch, and like the other HP, this one takes power, comes up yellow and orange, but no power up when you press the button. So what are the chances that we've got the same sort of fault? I don't know, but it's worth having a look. This one's a bit of a casual job for me, so I guess pull it apart, see what we can find, and hope we get lucky. Now you probably noticed straight away I've got a slightly different lighting. So my lighting finally turned up. It's not really quite as good as I wanted. The big problem being that while it's a nice fill panel, and I mean that is what it's sold as, it is sold as a fill light, the amount of lumens you get out of it relative to the price you pay is a little bit on the weak side compared to, say, if you just simply got a couple of standard household 18 or 15 watt LED bulbs. But like I said, it does have a nice even diffused light, so I might look at getting a bigger panel, although this one does fit very nicely up in the top area above the cameras without obstructing anything, so that's definitely an advantage there. I don't know why I'm putting these screws into various different spots, because quite frankly they're all the same. Right. Why can't these be as easy as a MacBook to get out? I mean, really, why can't they be? So, what's the deal? And behold, okay, this is a very different mainboard. So we could have complete death, we could have something obvious. Okay, so switch is up over here. At least I think it is. Yes, it is. So the switch is buried up under here. Great. Now that makes it just that little bit harder, doesn't it? Why not? Let's have a look under the microscope. See if it's got anything to tell us. Well, other than the fact that it's a bit skew, nothing dramatic there. Alright, so we take this apart and have a look at the switch body. Now, unfortunately this means we've got to lift the hinge off it and everything. Seriously. Hopefully I'll remember to take those screws off from there rather than try to rebuild it and then wonder why the case won't shut properly. Okay, if we're lucky, this actually is just a plate that's sitting over the top. But no, it looks like it's a full hinge. You guys the same size? Yes, you are. Alright, here we go. Oh, look, another screw. Little one. Maybe if we're lucky, it's a dead button. Well, let's have a look. Just going to try our luck with continuity when we press. Yeah, that looks pretty convincing to me. Is that corrosion, or is it just fluff and dust? I think that's just fluff and dust. Yeah, nothing exciting. I think we'll take this board out Because what we may well have here is actually a short. Not a guarantee, but we may have. And it might just be easier for me to just look over the board and try and measure everything up. Yeah, nice and clean there actually, which is not overly common. Speakers. Billion little annoying bits and pieces. And then you've got to work out what's double-sided tape and what's screws. Because for good measure they do both. How about now? Feeling freer? Okay, you can come off. Okay, that feels free. I'll look around here, see if we've got any liquid. Can't really see anything. There's our power input. Now if we're really lucky, we will just spot a cap with a great big crack through it. Now we know we must be getting power in here because we do get the green and the orange light, so that does show that, at least in theory, something like the EC is running, because it does sense the difference between when the battery's there and when it's not. Now exactly what am I looking for? I'm not too sure. You watch, this is probably going to be something really dumb, like it just wants the CMOS battery popped out. And don't laugh, that has happened to me. You spend ages trying to find a fault and it ends up you just have to change the CMOS battery. Okay, nothing distinctly obvious on that side. Mind you, I am going very quick, so it's going to have to be fairly obvious. What have we got? An LAD71 board. I have not worked on these before, but because it's a PC laptop, there's no great surprise there. Hello, there we go, we've got some corrosion there. Is that enough? Is it conductive? Yeah, actually it looks like there's a whole bunch of ickiness going on here. See all this here? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what to make of that. It's definitely corrosive to a degree. The pins, oh yay, we got a, there we go. Oh yeah, now that I can, now we can see that it's actually run free and clear. Alright, well, there's a bit of bug corpse there too. I'm just not sure what this is. It's some sort of salt, or yeah, it's really weird. Don't know what that is. But we'll give it a wash up, and then we will clean up all those legs. So I'm going to guess that's obviously not in the area that deals with the charging of the board. But these, at least from memory, yeah, from memory, these are in the general purpose pinpoints, which funnily enough is where the previous one had some issues. Mind you, the previous one, I think it was, where was it? I was down over here. But the point is, it's the general purpose pins, and it's the area where we do things like having the on-off switch. Now, I could have tested the voltage on that on-off switch points before I even did any of this, and that's just a personal preference. Some people prefer to do it that way. I prefer to pull the board out, give it a look over, see what might be causing the problem for these physical type of faults, because quite often it is, as it has been proven here. And to be fair, if it's not a physical fault like this, then I probably am not going to invest the time into the repair. Actually, I might hot air this just to get that flux to give some action in there. Because we don't know how far underneath that chip we've. And that flux will just clean up things for us. As will the copious amounts of solder I've just put on there. When I was a youngster, that sort of bridging would have probably freaked me out. But now it's a simple case of just pull it away, add a bit more flux, pull it away. I don't want to use wick on this, because the wick has a bad tendency of pulling away more than what you want. But if I use flux and the iron tip to pull it away, it leaves behind a nicely matched surface tension join. Like that. Okay, it's looking lots better. Let's have a look around, see if there's anything else. See, there's this. It's not as bad, but that certainly needs cleaning up. By the looks of it, it feels like it's just random little bugs coming in on the board, dying a bit, and when they decompose, they tend to leave behind acidic or caustic deposits. I'm actually not sure which end of the pH spectrum they're going to be. I got to be a little bit careful with these boards, because these ones do not have the thermal mass of a typical MacBook board. So you can easily wreck them. Well, not really wreck them, but you can easily get a bit too much heat down there. And you start having parts flow off in all random directions. Fortunately, this area is not a problem because there's basically nothing around other than this paired filter. Yeah, there's a little bit of corrosion under there, so I'm gonna just, yeah, take that back. There we go. Always important to check for that corrosion. Let's see how far it goes. Otherwise, I'll be back in next week. I'm not even going to bother putting a conformal code on that. There's no real need. It's perfectly safe though. Just realised the fume hood is vibrating the camera. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's put it back together and see if we have any change. Well, let's just do the go Dodgy Brothers style here and just whack in anything we can to absolutely confirm that this is going to work. Okay, let's go for Dodgy Brothers test. We've got the white light. Let's feel for the home button, the on-off pressed. We've got a fan spin. We're going to get a screen. Come on, let's get a screen. How can we come this far and not get a screen? Feels like it should be running. Yeah, we definitely do not have an energized screen. Alright, let's see if I missed something. Yeah, like a great big frickin' blob. Oh, that was really unfortunate. I've probably ruined this laptop now. Wow. Wow. That was a big blob. After I was... See, this is... You wonder why a lot of people are very reserved about making great statements or... okay, I shouldn't say that. There are people who generally don't tend to make big statements or declarations or stuff like that. They just prefer to keep it quiet and, you know, meander on through life. And there's a reason for that, because it seems like every time you do finally decide, haha, I'm going to say something because, you know, this is what I believe and whatever, this is how to do it. And then no sooner you do that, the universe goes, oh boy, someone set themselves up, let's go knock them down. Just like me then, when I was going off about how great the whole flooded method was for redoing those pins. And to be honest, I will stand by that. I do prefer to still do the pins that way. But, yeah, looks like I should have been a little more careful about what I was doing. Like I said, in fairness, this is actually a bit of a casual job, this one. This isn't a normal repair. So I've kind of let my guard down, and it is late. But these are just excuses. I should have still had due diligence with my soldering jobs, because what if it wasn't a casual job? What if it wasn't one that didn't really matter? What if it was a critical data job? I would have just potentially lost all their data. All because I was being all superior and saying, haha, look how good my style of doing things is. Anyway, so that gets back to the point of why a lot of people are generally fairly subdued about making great big declarations like that. Because they've often experienced from a young age that doing so typically invites the universe to come along and bop them over the head with a reality stick. Alright, let's see how we go this time. Right. Well, we've got a fan spin. Screen's changing. Ha! Checksum's invalid, that's because I pulled the CMOS out. Reboot the system. Well, I got lucky. I didn't seemingly kill everything, but I've still got to plug the data drive in and see if we didn't destroy anything on that side of. Okay. Okay, we don't have Wi-Fi, but I'll get to that later. And there we have it. We've got a win. We got lucky again, and I mean really lucky. I mean, I shorted 3 or 4 of those pins there, and that could have easily done quite a lot of damage. If one of those pins had been a high voltage going off to somewhere that was maybe a little more delicate or something, I could have been up for having to get a new laptop for these people. It goes to show you got to always be vigilant and try not to get too cocky about what you're doing. That nearly cost me tonight. But in the end, it all worked out. Bit of a lesson for me. Bit of a poke on the shoulder to say, hey, settle down, buddy. Just keep it slow and steady. So thank you very much for watching. Got another fixed laptop. Customer's going to be happy. And anyway, in the meantime, you'll take care, and I'll see you later.